What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Cool, coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I'm here to give you a quick recap on tonight's Showtime triple header. Headlined by Adrian the Problem Broner taking on Adrian Granados in the main event. Um, Opening bout of the card was Marcus Browne taking on Thomas Williams. Browne got the 6th round KO victory. He broke Thomas Williams' jaw. I felt early in the 2nd round because I was flipping back and forth between the All-Star festivities and boxing. Um, you know, so I missed the 1st round, but in the 2nd round, caught it. He had dropped, Browne dropped Williams with a jab, a beautiful, powerful jab. And, you know, when Williams was on the ground, he hit him in the head again while he was down, which in most cases would be an automatic disqualification. But the referee, I don't know if he was inexperienced or what. He just deducted a point and gave Williams the the 5-minute grace period to recover from that shot. Browne, in the aftermath of the fight, said that it wasn't intentional. He said from his point of view, when he hit him with a jab and he went down, he was coming. He's trying to bounce back up. So he said he made sure, he was down for good. But be as it may, Browne won this fight by stoppage, broke Thomas Williams' jaw. Afterwards, he called out Adonis Stevenson, the WBC and lineal light heavyweight champion of the world. He wants to fight him. I don't believe he's ready for Stevenson just yet. Stevenson is a whole another beast than anything he's fought so far in his professional career. But he may get the fight. He's without Heyman. Both guys are without Heyman. And if you really want the fight, he'll probably get it. On to the co-main event, you had Lamont Peterson taking on David Avasanine. I had his name right earlier watching the fight. Anyway, Lamont won a decision. I forget if it was a unanimous decision or a split decision, but he did win a decision to earn himself the WBA. I don't know if it's the regular title or what, but pretty much that puts him in, I guess, the next up to face the winner of the upcoming Keith Thurman-Danny Garcia fight, which Keith Thurman is the WBA, welterweight champion. Danny Garcia is the WBC welterweight champion. There will be a unification bout. But Peterson coming off of a 16-month layoff, he looked good. Myself and a couple guys from CBT in a group message, JG pointed out that it looked like Lamont really didn't have any strategy going into this fight. It looked like he was sparring, because he was just. It really did look like that if you watched the fight. Later on, he kind of settled down. Late in the fight, Lamont brings it. He rips the shots to the body. He was throwing a lot of right uppercuts, a lot of left hooks, a lot of right hands. He would throw his jab occasionally early in the fight, but he looked good for a guy coming off of a 16-month layoff. His opponent was tough. His opponent gave as much as he got. He ripped to the body. He landed uppercuts. He landed right hands. He landed left hooks, and it was a good fight, but one that Lamont clearly won, even though the scorecards were a little too close for my liking. He won a unanimous decision. It was 115, 113, and 116, 114 twice for Lamont Peterson. But he was asked by Jim Gray, would he be interested in fighting the winner of Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman, and he replied to yes. We know Lamont Peterson fears no one. He fights the best consistently. He has a ton of heart. He has a fan-friendly style. He also can box. So, I definitely love to see him either in a rematch with Danny Garcia, which was a close fight. A lot of people thought he won. A lot of people thought he started too late. Or, him with Keith Thurman, which could be an explosive fight. But we just have to see after the March 4th fight how that after how that takes, I'm trying to get my words out, how that unfolds, to see what both guys involved next move. Now on to the main event, we had Adrian the Problem Broner returning from a long layoff against former sparring partner and good friend Adrian Granados from Chicago, who's coming off of an upset over rising prospect Amir Imam, where he stopped him in the ninth round a couple years ago. Um, this fight was scheduled to take place at 142, but 3 weeks ago, or 3 weeks before the fight, Broner and his team, went to Granados and said, could the fight be moved to 146? Pretty much the whole welterweight. He agreed. Uh, Going into this fight, we all know that Broner was the more talented guy, bigger puncher. Just a level above Granados. But Granados had the height advantage. He was 5'9", Broner 5'6.5". He had a 2-inch reach advantage. He used that. He kind of made Broner come to him, and Broner, it kind of favored both guys early. It favored Granados because he was fresh, he wasn't fatigued, so he made him come to him. Plus with the long arms, but as the fight wore on, he was countered by Broner, who he does, some things he does well, and one of them is, his counter punching ability. He's very accurate when he shoots that right hand, throws that left hook. He also throws a right uppercut and a left uppercut. He worked the body, but he allowed himself to be clinched. And as Paulie was mentioning throughout the telecast, man, he would land a beautiful right hand or uppercut or left hook, and he would just stop and just stare and just admire his work instead of turning that one punch into a 2 or 3 punch combination. Granados was working the body. He was hitting them with right hands. Both guys traded big shots as the fight wore on. Both guys showed very good beards. I mean, Broner is going to struggle at 147. He did get the victory by split decision, 97-93, 96-94. A lot of people are going to say it's a robbery. It wasn't a robbery. It was a close fight. I would have been fine with a draw or a Granados victory because he did give it his all. He brought the fight to Broner, and you can make an argument that he did indeed beat Broner. I believe it should be a rematch, maybe immediately. Depends on what Broner wants to do, unless he wants to fight a bigger name guy. If not, then he should give Granados a rematch, which I think he earned. But Broner's prospects at 147 doesn't look good. I mean, he's a talented fighter, but he just doesn't look spectacular. He just doesn't look like, he belongs at 147. He got the short arms. He's 5'6.5". I mean, he isn't active enough. His power isn't what it was at 135. His power isn't that at 140, but it's better. And like I said, he's not active enough. He's very hittable with the right hand. Doesn't throw enough punches. He can't fight on the inside. I mean, he can counter. He's accurate. Has a good jab. Has the skills to be a very good champion, but not at 147. I think he needs to change trainers. Mike Stafford, respect him, what he's done in the sport of boxing, but I think that Broner needs to go to a new trainer who could teach him some new things, how to fight better on the inside and, get more out of him, somebody that he respects more. Not to say he doesn't respect Stafford like that, but, Stafford just, he's taking him as far as he can. And I think that, it's in his best interest to, at least start exploring the possibility of having a new trainer. But that's going to wrap up this quick recap of tonight's Showtime triple hitter, headlined by Adrian the Problem Broner taking on Adrian Granados. Subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Leave those comments in the comment section below. Telling me what your assessment was of tonight's fight card. And what do you want to see from Lamont Peterson, Adrian Broner, everybody involved. Everybody might not have been too invested in the main event, so whatever fight you was interested in, drop those comments. Let me know what you thought about tonight's card. Follow us on Twitter at Colossal CBT. Head over to Facebook, like our Facebook page at Colossal Boxing Talk. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.